Tube Nation? Sam here again with the Bear and a Bee books. Today I wanted to share with you gifts that my loving, caring family got for me for Christmas. They know I love books, and some years I get lots and some years I don't really get very many at all because people know I have way too many books. But this year they spoiled me. So first off, I wanted to talk about some children's books, and I don't think I've mentioned it here on the channel, but my husband and I are expecting our first child, so we're very excited. And as I am a definite avid reader, I plan on reading quite a bit to our little one. So the first one I have is a Winnie the Pooh book. And it's so cute. We love Winnie the Pooh. It's called Pooh's Christmas Letters, illustrated by Andrew Gray, and it's an Egmont book, and it's just so cute, so darling. There's Eeyore. And next, my mom knows I love Grumpy Cat, and it's so cool she got these for me because she's not really a big Grumpy Cat person herself, but I have like this little, it's like this little pocketbook, and it's got like Grumpy Cat sayings in it. And it makes me laugh so hard. I'm an optimist that's also a realist. I've had cats most of my life, and I have a big, huge Maine Coon named Buster Fatone. He's featured previously in one of my videos. But anyway, he's just a big, old, fat kitty. And so Grumpy Cat always makes me laugh because I have kind of one of those of my own. But anyway, it's The Little Grumpy Cat That Wouldn't. And A is for Awful. And A is for Awful is illustrated by Steph Laberis. The Little Grumpy Cat Wouldn't is also illustrated by her. And the rest are all little golden books, which I absolutely love. I had a bunch as a kid, and I was sad that I didn't have them anymore, so I already have a start to a new collection. Next is a really cool one. I've never seen golden books like this, but it's kind of a thicker one, and it actually has 3 of the Princess Fairy Tale golden books all in one. The Blue Book of Fairy Tales, the 12 Dancing Princesses, which is one of my favorites. I love that fairy tale. Also, Hans Christian Andersen's The Wild Swans. The Blue Book of Fairy Tales, and the final one, The Wild Swans, is also illustrated by Gordon Late. The 12 Dancing Princesses is illustrated by Sheila Beckett. The 12 Dancing Princesses is a story told by Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, retold by Jane Warner. And these illustrations are just beautiful. You see the swans. Next is Walt Disney's Mary Poppins, adapted by Annie North Bedford, illustrated by Al White. This is when they're having tea at their friend's house and they start to float up into the ceiling. I love that scene. Next is Disney's Up, and I have to say I'm almost ashamed as the huge Disney fan that I am, but I've actually never seen this movie. I've seen like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it, but I heard it was really sad, and I tend to avoid really sad things, but I need to watch it one day. It's adapted by Tennant Redbank, was designed by Stuart Smith, and it's illustrated by Jean Paul Orpinas and Steve Tilley. There's some of the illustrations there. Look at that little farm. So cute. Next we have a Disney classic, and that's The Sword and the Stone. I love the movie. It's one of my favorites. If anyone's ever been to Disney World, they have like right in front of the merry-go-round where you can try and pull up the sword from The Sword and the Stone, and it's really neat. They do like a little ceremony throughout the day, and it's really cute for the kids to see. This one was adapted by Carl Memling, based on the Walt Disney motion picture, and of course that's suggested by the original story, The Sword and the Stone, by T.H. White. And the pictures are by the Walt Disney Studio, and those are adapted by Norm McGarry. Here's one where he gets turned into the fish and he's swimming around. And here is another classic with Donald, and this is called The Little Man of Disneyland. This one is by Annie North Bedford. It was illustrated by the Walt Disney Studios and is adapted by Dick Kelsey. I think this one actually goes all around Disneyland, so you get to see the different lands. I've only ever been to Disneyland once, but I had a lot of fun. If you're a true Disney fan, if you've been to one, I think it's definitely worth checking out the other. I found enough differences to really enjoy myself at both parks. Here's a illustration And you can see there's a castle in the background there. These are just really sweet. I look forward to reading those to our little one. Next is a chunker. This is a heavy book. My mom picked this up for me. We actually found it. I'll link down below. I did a book haul for a local indie bookstore here. We saw this when we were there together, and I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I put it back down because, you know, you can't buy all the books at once. She was kind enough to pick it up for me for Christmas. And this is called Novel Destinations. Basically like nonfiction outlining all the different places where all the novels have taken place at. So like Jane Austen's Bath, which I recently read Persuasion and loved it, and I've always wanted to go to Bath. So that's just another reason to want to go there. I don't live very far from Key West, so Ernest Hemingway's Key West is mentioned in here, which is a place I have been, which is really interesting. Like the Bronte Parsonage, the Charles Dickens Museum. I myself have been to the House of Seven Gables in Massachusetts, and I also, while I was there, Nathaniel Hawthorne's house was on site, which was really a wonderful treat, and I really enjoyed my time there. This is just something that I want to flip through throughout the years and hopefully make my way to some of these amazing places. Next, this trilogy was recommended to me by my little brother, and he picked this up for me. He bought me the first book as well, which I read and really enjoyed. This is the third book by Jonathan Stroud. It's the, I want to say the Bartimaeus trilogy, but I guess it could be the Bartimaeus trilogy. And this is book 3. This is Ptolemy's Gate. I love the artwork on the front of these. I believe they're middle grade, but it's just a really fun adventure story. There's some magic and like some, you know, it's one of those books where things are going on that the average person doesn't realize are going on, but they're going on right under everybody's nose. And it was just a really wonderful journey. Next, I have the Puffins Classics edition. My husband picked this up for me. This is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Anne of Green Gables, of course, by L.M. Montgomery. The Secret Garden, also by Frances Hodgson Burnett. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. And Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. And these are really beautiful. I had a couple in my collection before, but I didn't own the whole set. You can see, sorry about the glare, I still have the plastic on it, but you can see all the beautiful colors. These are really nicely made books, and something, if you like children's classics, that'll definitely add to anyone's collection. And he also got me the Word Cloud Classics, and I, for the longest time, let me set this down, that's really heavy, have been debating what I wanted my Jane Austen collection to be in, because I own all of Jane Austen, but I own the 6 major novels, but the ones that I own are in all different versions, and I wanted to have a cohesive collection of her works. So I finally decided on the Word Cloud Classics. I'm really into texture, and I love the way that they feel. They're so soft and comfortable in the hand, and so that's why I decided to go with these. This is the Lavender collection. It has Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. There's also another copy of Frances Hodgson Burnett's The Secret Garden, Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, Jane Austen's Persuasion, and Jane Austen's Emma. My in-laws picked up the Mansfield Park by Jane Austen for me, and my husband picked up Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen for me. And I think out of all of them, I think this is probably the next Austen I'm going to pick up. Like I said, last year I read Persuasion and I really loved it. I wanted to read Persuasion first. Number one, it's a shorter one, so I knew I could get through it easily, but it has an older protagonist, and that kind of fits me these days. So I thought I would give that one a go. But this one is known to be a little bit different than the rest of her works. And on Christmas morning, I picked it up and read the first sentence, and I was sold. So I hope to check this out here fairly shortly. And that is all the books I received for Christmas. I had wonderful holidays. I hope that all of you did as well. I have more book hauls to come, more best of 2017, so I hope to see everyone here back again. Go ahead and friend me on Goodreads. I'm on there fairly often, pretty much every single day, and you can also follow me on Twitter. Okay, so one last thing before I go. I almost forgot my cookbook. It's Eat Like a Gilmore, and it's the unofficial cookbook for fans of Gilmore Girls. And anyway, this is by Christy Carlson. Photographs by Bonnie Matthews, and me, I am a total Gilmore Girls fanatic. My mom enjoys it too, so she picked this up for me, and it's so buttery, and the pictures they look delicious, so I'm really excited to try some of this out. Thanks again for being here with me today. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.